In this video, I will discuss about assisted suicide issue, which was a big deal during MK Ultra, literally with Nurse Yanko even getting in my face in 2011, 2010, in 2010 and in 2011, Home for Elderly People, Home for Elderly, Nurse Yanko would even bring out of the Home for Elderly People what he claimed was remainings of the father. Basically is cremation of the father, the leftovers of the father. This is about how far the so-called assisted dying, which really is assisted suicide, but assisted dying is allowed in several European Union countries, and it was guaranteed that with father also, father gave me also guarantees that that he was given all kinds of, I mean, he was, how can I say, he was brain poisoned by the police. Okay, what Slovenian police did on him was, he was just completely crazy tool, totally helpless. The worst part about it is that he knows that he is totally wrong about himself, and it's not that he won't admit, because this is not about admitting, but what I got a man that was proven wrong else left than to stick in the world that psychiatrists and police presented one as, you know, like a decent way to go, like admirable way to go, like, you know, he's really crazy talking about my father with stuff that went on during MK Ultra. Father alone guaranteed me that he's going to commit a suicide. Actually use this option of assisted dying. I had Nurse Yanko inside of our house with physicians talking to me about assisted dying during MK Ultra. I had physicians talking, describing to me exactly, giving me complete in and out on how it is when they inject you whatever poison in your blood stream, and how easily you fly away, how easy it is to die away. I mean, these people were describing this like a poetry during MK Ultra. It felt like, you know, the way they described this, how easy everything gets over in a, it's just, it's like, it wasn't about like whether you have something to lose, but it made you feel like you want to go right now. I was a volunteer, and they did get a signature on my paper, not once but on several occasions, with a minister who stepped deliberately down not too long ago. His name is Paklukar. Both this guy, he stepped down, he no longer is a minister. And then you have also, this is a Slovenian president. Look at that. She looks really happy. They were thrilled to get the signatures from me for a suicide. Talking about the Slovenes. And so maybe I don't know, they're all characters. I mean, characters like from the crazy movie. You know, to them this is funny thing. It's a funny thing. It's like a victory over something. like they're trying to prove something. It's basically what they are proving already for 53 years is that they are immune. What they are proving for 53 years is that regardless of whatever crime they do to me, they will manage to get away unpunished, unharmed. That's what they were proving, basically, that through organized crime, through the European Union, and through United States of America, they can pretty much do whatever they want at United Nations and far beyond, with absolute support of Russia and no contest from China and India and from other countries, of course. So it's like, the way it looks to me, it's like the case they created, because this torture went throughout the Slovenia and through every village. Like they are celebrating something, like they are up to something, like something is happening. So I got this letter. That's just arrived in the mail. It's this one here. This is from the so-called Slovenian Voting Commission. I just got this letter. It arrived in the mail. Let me just make sure that you actually get to see this. Yeah, you should be able to see this stuff. Državna volilna komisija, you can see the name right there, number. And as I open this envelope, right now I did, I was gonna toss it in the garbage because I don't go to vote. It's like I told you, Slovenia for me does not even exist. This here is the letter where it says, well, it says like this. It says that we are informing you about referendum in respect to assistance connected to voluntary, they call it a voluntary termination of life, is being decided that there will be, according to the law, a referendum on a Sunday, November the 23rd of 2025. That's basically today, since I'm recording this in early morning hours. It's exactly the way you see it. This is what they waited on. You cannot say that they were not waiting on crime they created through using my father. No, you cannot say that. You know what's going on with my father. You also know that I'm not allowed to visit him. You also know that my mother is doing absolutely everything possible for me not to see him. Right? So this is the kind of stuff, you want to drive somebody absolutely insane, that's basically the stuff that you would do, I guess. I already told you in a previous video that this is basically what the letter looks like. Yeah, this was closed inside. This was closed inside. It's not difficult to see these animals. You gotta see this stuff. I mean, I saw it, and she also was involved in this stuff, and this is Klakochar. Klakochar is this one here. This nutcase was involved. What is it? Her name? Zupan Chich, бывший муж, бывший partner. But I mean, this stuff, what you can do is you can just go vomit. I mean, really, this here is maybe this is the one here. This is like
нормальный, развитый, демократ.
She was involved in MK Ultra. She was involved in MK Ultra, and what I can say is that this is a waste of oxygen. It's a waste of oxygen. I stated a few things in previous video how I feel about the Slovenes in general, and I am just, it's a late hours. I don't want to get upset anymore today. She is, how can I say, to put it properly, this is to put it properly, this thing here, this is I'm not going to say that this is a nutcase, because it's more than that. She's like a copy of Maria Zakharova. You know Maria Zakharova from Moscow, the speaker for the Putin. I put her, she looks so stupid. I mean, this is just so stupid. So stupid. It's horror actually to see that. It's horrific. But basically the same type of nutcase. Really, it's a nutcase. Let me just see if it's not here. It's I issued a warning to Japan and China over this thing. I copied the video of her into a post.
Вы знаете, мы пристально отслеживаем действия Токио в сфере обороны. Действительно, все это свидетельствует, все, что делает Япония сейчас, однозначно свидетельствует о том, что страна встала на путь ускоренной ремилитаризации. Естественно, мы обращаем внимание на те сюжеты, которые вы обозначили в своем вопросе, включая и стремительный рост военных расходов, и массовую закупку американских вооружений, деструктивное поведение на международной арене, и агрессивную риторику, и отказ от признания исторических фактов, да и вообще какие-то признаки покаяния за то, что сделали их предки. Из новых сюжетов могу отметить недавно обнародованное премьер-министром Санае Такаити решение об учреждении в Японии интегрированной разведывательной структуры.
She actually even hates the name Sanae Takaichi. She is just, it's a creepy stuff. I mean, especially if you consider the stuff they do in Ukraine, and it's just it's hard to classify this. It's hard to classify this stuff. She is she's like on a soccer game or something like that. She is acting like completely trampling on other people's lives and existence, disregarding everything that applies to the civilization. I mean, it's just doesn't even care what is right, what is wrong. She just threatens, basically, is aggressive, this stuff. I mean, this is the same shit. It's the same thing. If you look at this shit here, she talks like a schizophrenic. She talks like a schizophrenic. She doesn't talk from the point of view, from the experience or something like that. She talks like, yeah, that's the way it is. That's the way it is, and that's the way it is, and that's it, and that's it, and that's it, and that's it. And it is about human lives here, for one thing, which Slovenian side also described as a good relief for the society, financial relief for the society. They are looking to terminate lives. There will probably be also people that will not want to have their lives terminated, and their lives are going to be terminated anyways. It is just as simple as this. How can I say? From the perspective that such thing exists, that you have the referendum, general referendum, I do not approve of that. Because it's up to every individual, to decide whether they would like to have this kind of right or whether they would not have to like this kind of right. I believe there should be one more referendum which should give the people the ability to have written into the constitution individually whether the state ever, if ever, has the right to even offer them this type of option. And so when they are healthy, when they are in a sound mind, I think this is the most the fair thing to do, that you gather votes from people and your issues a document, just like you have a driver license, that you have declared yourself, as a proof, as a form of proof that you declared yourself on such and such referendum for yourself to not be subject to this kind of law. Or, in other words, if that you want to be subject to this kind of law, to be a subject to this kind of law. Now, this is the stuff that nowhere in Europe or in the world even you're going to see anybody would do it. But what they do is they... It's enough, because this looks like you would go sell cars or something like that, or you're trying to convince somebody with something. This is really not a soccer game. This is about each individual being responsible for his own destiny or her destiny, basically. Right? It's about people having the right to decide about this stuff. I'm not going to say at birth, but yeah, once they understand life and understand the deeper implications, you could always have this stuff changed, but God forbid that you find yourself in a circumstances that will be such circumstances that you will need the suicide, you're not going to have a capacity to do so, or that you find yourself in a circumstances where state instead of you will make a decision to let you go, with or without your permission, using just something known as referendum and a signature, which might not even be a signature or whatever. You know what I mean? So it might be just a signature of your relatives or whatever. I don't think that this is actually a legitimate referendum, because it's this main things that are not specified on one. But yeah, this referendum is done on a copy-paste example of Austria and Spain and all other countries in Europe, that some of which already have voted on this issue and give benefit to this stuff. They gave a green light. Here you have a list of countries that allow. This now became really, really popular. And Slovenia, this is the next one that will. And then there is something else here. Why is this lady wearing the glasses and the other one over there is wearing glasses and so on? I mean, is it like necessary to present itself like this? Is it like, is it so bad? Is it so difficult? I mean, what is bothering inside of the stomach? I mean, what's so difficult? It looks like a hat, like Make America Great Again. And they talk about the dignity and stuff like that. Netherlands and Belgium, and I don't know, Switzerland or whatever. I don't even read this stuff. It makes no fucking sense to me to read any of this stuff. Italy right there. They even threatened to me that something is going to happen to me and that nobody is going to touch me and I'm going to have to be on the wheelchair or whatever with a stroke for another 50 years still. I'm going to be in complete pain, die away and stuff like that. This is the stuff that went on during MK Ultra. So I am not going to try to stop this referendum in any way, but people involved in this stuff, of course, was Robert Golob, Milan Kučan, and Borut Pahor. Again, the communists were the people who took initiative in assisted dying. Tanya Fayon was really obsessed with this, but you can see this stuff. I mean, this is like some kind of lunacy is in the air. I mean, it's like a virus. She already voted 2 days ago. That's called predčasno glasovala za pravico odločanja o svojem življenju.
Bi vam tam s koncem to pravico jemal Aleš Princ in njemu podobni, ki vas razglašajo za kriminalce, ki bi to pravico zlorabljali. Dokažite, da ste ljudje.
She says that there are some people that out there that equal people who would like to have assisted suicide option available, equal them with the criminals, and she calls people to go on a voting polls and prove that they are human beings, because they should not allow anybody to take this right from them. So it appears that life finally reached the point where life is about assisted suicide. I just spoke to my mama, and I spoke to her about the issue, which is located not too far from the home for elderly, which basically my mother keeps bringing the father to the graveyard. She keeps bringing him to the graveyard. She is completely sick, if you ask me. This is truly a psychopath. She is completely deranged. I don't know how many times I found her delivering father directly to the graveyard right next door. Is right next door, located right next door to home for elderly. It's you can see it right there. Look at what a beautiful place that is. I mean, it's really, that's like a stadium over there, and that's, I didn't even know about, and that right there, that's a graveyard. Yeah, right here in the middle, it's a road. So she keeps bringing him here. And now she's enjoying this stuff. No, my father would not want to keep coming into the graveyard. It's somebody else that is deciding about this stuff. The way this is just completely insane. Through my eyes, this is a total lunacy. It's already a lunacy. The stuff that I told you have taken place, and these people are actually allowed even to continue with a referendum of any kind before solving questions like this. Talking about the Slovenes as a nation. That already is a complete lunacy, is not? So she became completely obsessed with a graveyard, and there is another fashion that came into fashion here in Slovenia. They are buying themselves a mob of plates for the graveyards, you know? And I told my mom, you know, Mom, there is no meat, there is no food, because my mom compares me with everything but not a human being when it comes to the food. It was so bad that I would not even want to eat food that I needed when I was with the mother, because she is so toxic, she is so evil, that you're asking her about how she's doing whatever is just giving her the opportunity to unleash on you insults. This is just the way it is. I mean, pretty much this is the way it works. And now we do have what is known as a marble plates. And I remember her with a psychiatrist. I remember her with discussing this issue with a psychiatrist. That it costed, I don't know how much fucking money. They family started to collect the money for Bela Krajina, for Novo Mesto, to put the marble, the stone, I don't know what kind of shit. Total lunacy. This is what they tortured me with during MK Ultra. You know, the way they interpreted me, the grave of the grandfather, they threw this plate on it, like a marble plate. Marmor. Is it marmor, right? Like this. It's a big fucking thing that covers the entire grave, you know. This now became popular. If this is a grave, this plate is big like the grave, and this shit costs I don't know how much money for them to to make the stone the way you want, that kind of stuff. With mother spending enormous amount of money on candles and all kinds of stuff. I didn't put that stuff on the internet, but if I tell you 25 candles that I saw inside of the house, moving back and forth, I'm not even lying to you. Candles in a toilet, candles in a bathroom, candles in a garage area where the furnace is, candles at the entrance, candles in every fucking drawer you would open. I have never seen fucking shit like this yet. I mean, she was trying to make me completely insane, drive me nuts with these issues. She, I told you, played a psychiatrist, a police officer inside of the house. As soon as the father was thrown into home for elderly people, it was like you would unleash a total lunatic inside of the house. Hey, this is just the way it is. And so, what do you think about this kind of referendum? Under this type of circumstances, do you think that people like this should even be allowed to vote? Do you think that continuation of the disregard for a crime like this, do you think, since I'm the only individual, one individual, do you think that this is the right of the society? Because I don't remember that anybody would vote on this kind of issue. You know, equaling MK Ultra butchery, lynching with a mental illness. I didn't know about any of that stuff. It was criminals from our master police station that doubted me about what MK Ultra is. They were asking about what MK Ultra is. MK Ultra, let me explain to you what MK Ultra is. I got everything wrong about MK Ultra. Do you know what MK Ultra is? At least this is what it was in my case. MK Ultra is unlimited physical violence done to one during his early childhood, teenage years, till he becomes grown up. That violence, immediate violence on day-to-day basis that he goes through when he enters, before he goes to the kindergarten, and then in the kindergarten, and then in the grammar school and high school, and etc., including in the army, is substituted with day-to-day forced unemployment. Actually, when I completed the school for mechanical engineering technician, I became a mechanic and also mechanical engineering technician. The only option that was offered to me was for the male service guy, for the guy that is on the moped and drives from house to house, because it was simply just the lowest pay. That's what they said, this is going to be your career, this is what you're going to be doing for 30 years. Here in Slovenia, that's how they wanted me to create a career on a moped as a mailman. Said you're qualified to be a moped man or a mail guy as a moped man. So we went to school through all these beatings and torture. So we throw away everything and we go on a moped and we drive him with a moped from house to house. They will explain to you, these Slovenian animals. They will explain to you about this stuff. Now, what is MK Ultra? Okay? This is just an unlimited amount of violence which is based on forced unemployment once you become legible for employment. That's exactly what it is. And I'm sure it's exciting. I'm sure every one of you would love this, to spend life of unemployment with police engaging through MK Ultra violence, instead of having your life basically engaging you in MK Ultra violence, torture, brainwash, based on which then they follow up also with the issues like this. And they're not going to stop short. Even if you go to the police station, they equal this with a mental illness. They call the ambulance vehicle comes and they pick you up and they take you to the psychiatric hospital. They don't stop short. They don't understand. And in my case, this goes on for almost 53 years now. And the best of my life is gone. And I don't remember any kind of referendum about that stuff. I don't remember that anybody asked me about, or I actually asked people, as I explained. I don't have anything else to say. I just would hate people to misunderstand what MK Ultra is. This is just unlimited violence through the lifelong forced unemployment. That's a very simple definition. Unlimited violence through lifelong unemployment. So if you like lifelong unemployment, that's one thing, without any kind of social support or anything like that, with psychiatry getting involved in it, giving you pills to make your life shorter. Maybe this is going to more appeal to you to vote yes. Then in that case, that's what MK Ultra is, right? It's a bit weird video. Maybe it's a little bit weird, this video. Maybe it's a weird video, but it opens mind about what Slovenes are voting for. I told you that this is a disgrace for the human race. I told you that these people are a mistake. I told you that them talking to me about Adolf Hitler or a Nazi Germany or whatever you would talk to me as a Slovenian, as, you know, I was just really stupid to have fallen for brainwash that they have done on me. Given even that both sides of my family were victims of this neo-Nazi aggression here. It makes me understand why the wars exist. It makes me understand why bloodshed is necessary. It makes me understand why sometimes you have to kill the people, vanish them, exterminate them, before asking them who did it. Do you understand me what I'm trying to say? Happy voting on, it's not assisted dying, it's not even assisted suicide. You might have guessed from my account about the stuff that went on. What's going on in Slovenia? A European Union member state, member of United Nations, member of the NATO, and I cannot think of any other title that Slovenia earned along the way, along its independence. I am not going to even give you the opinion about, or at least I should say other opinion about assisted dying. Assisted dying is just, I believe, you know, I am from the background, I am from the family, from the circumstances that maybe I know much more than anybody else about this stuff, but I would not want to give opinion about this stuff to anyone other than what I actually even proposed here. I think that this is a matter of every individual, and life is not about the dying, life is not about assisted dying. This is about Slovenia, and Slovenia is a problem. Slovenia is a serious error. Slovenia is a serious mistake as a country and as a nation. That's what this is all about. If you, God forbid, ever find yourself in a situation like mine, and you see your parents, your relative, paying enormously a lot of attention to the grave, to the dead people, as it was in my case all along during MK Ultra. Mother was obsessed during MK Ultra with graves in Novo Mesto and graves in Bela Krajina, where police would drive her. It was a total lunacy. It was obsession. It was she pretty much matched the person that, as a psychiatrist, I would pull her on the side and I would sit her down and I would want to drill in her head with questions pertaining to her fascination with the dead. I would definitely want to find out what it was so excited to her about, what thrilled her about that stuff so much. Because I know it's something terribly fucking wrong. and because it's other people, they're paying with their lives for it. If you see people doing stuff, talking to you about grave this, grave, and at the same time they see you like a piece of shit, they treat you like a piece of shit, and then you even happen to see your own father in a circumstance like something I have gone through, man, in that case, you know it's something alarmingly wrong. I don't know, she said 3,500 euros for the grave or whatever. It's completely sick, completely sick stuff. Sickening stuff. Sicker than sick shit. She just gave me the bill on a table, claimed that, basically not claimed that she had to pay to mechanic, I don't know, 220 euros for the maintenance. Basically, let me demonstrate you this stuff. This is what I got. I got the bill today. Is it... No, it's not easy to pay the money. This definitely it's not an easy thing to do. She doesn't have a lot of money. She is now paying bills by herself because father is gone. Father's money is stolen for the home for elderly people. They take the money for home for elderly people, every cent, every dime. Yeah, this is basically the way it is. This is how we have it now. Let me just make sure that this is a 22nd is this year. And then I did not, obviously I did not transfer this stuff. But, alright, so I'm gonna put it this way. Shit. Yeah, I mean, she paid for the maintenance of the car, and since I said that she paid for the maintenance of the car, look, I told her, I told her I will do the maintenance of the car. You see it? Yeah, you see it. The filter is right here. I told her I will do the maintenance of the car. You understand the song. I mean, she's showing the bills, not because it would be expensive or anything like this. This is just a procedure to drive insane. Nuts. It's not about the money. She had too much fucking money. She paid for insurance last year, maybe even 150 euros more than what she should. What I could get her for 120, 150 euros, she might have ended up paying even, I don't know, 300 euros and stuff like this. Just like this. Just like this, basically, just so that she could establish her bills and stuff like this, as just like she made an agreement with the Slovenian Robert Golob, with the Kuchan, etc., etc. Just like that. Just like this. Wrong, even wrong telephone I have here. I know that the bills are high. I know that it's not easy if you're paying bills on your own. I completely understand that. I agree with it. 220 for the service, 90 euros for the battery. For technical examination, 150. I'm not sure if that's what it was, but okay. And for the air conditioning, 51. With what she told me, for air conditioning, not yet, I don't know. And she said 90 for the battery. I told her, you paid 90 for the battery for the accumulator because I got you a big fucking discount. That was supposed to cost you 120 euros. She said, oh yeah, that's true. And 220 euros, I don't have anything else to say. I mean, the problem is not the lack of money. The problem is too much fucking money. When you see people caring about graveyards and shit and stuff, that at the same time, if you are sick, wouldn't you, if you have a son or daughter or your mom or your father, want to make sure that they eat good food, healthy food first? Well, she is so toxic that I swear to you that she made me eat shit and shit and shit and garbage, any fucking garbage, anything, deliberately, because I couldn't fucking see her. You know, it's not about her only, it's about the people that allow this stuff to happen. It is just as simple, because it's so disgusting, so primitive, the whole thing. So that's a video on how they were doing the stuff. Also in respect to my father, he is completely insane. He is completely poisoned, and I don't even blame one because of what I explained to you. I experienced myself during MK Ultra, the way they approached to me, the way they brainwashed me, the way they made me feel on how quickly when you get that stuff, these people gonna have to eventually go to the I need this scum to report to police. I need this scum interrogated. I need this scum pinned to the chairs. I need this scum to repeat the words. They were brainwashing me during MK Ultra. You understand? That's what the fuck I need. I know what the fuck I need. Don't fucking go to me with this shit here. I need their statements. I need every fucking word. I need the people who are doing this stuff to me, who are explaining so poetically the whole thing. People who demanded together with Milan Kuchan to see myself. People who made me sign execution, my own execution. Not vote, but execution. Executions. I am going to give you opinion on Adolf Hitler today. Anyway, I think that he was not the only evil person. When it comes to Hitler, I think there is a whole lot of evil around here, in Europe in general. And I don't think that Slovenian people were a victim of any kind during the World War II. I understand that he was evil as fuck. I understand that he did bad stuff, but you know what? The Russians had their evil too. His name was Stalin. Everybody had their evil. The British had their evil that killed and killed and killed in Africa and in Asia and enslaved and so on. It's just that my case was based all on Hitler, on Nazis. You know, honestly, I'm going to say to you, when I consider this stuff, the humanity does not understand the question of Adolf Hitler. No, seriously, this is a proof. It's a proof. Right here. I hold one in my hands. If humanity would understand the circumstances that I grew up, and it might just have something to do with the Hitler, it might just have something to do with the Germans. Maybe, in this, regardless of how evil this man was, because this was evil like, this is a guy that was out there to exterminate entire Eastern Europe. That's what they say. Maybe even the people whom he was about to exterminate would forgive him. I am serious. I'm serious that it is hard for me to believe that there is demented animals like those that I described on my blog that one possibly could encounter in this life. Seriously, I don't know if they had MK Ultra already. I don't know how old MK Ultra is. They said that they started this after the World War II, but did they really start it after the World War II? I mean, I'm just saying. Because if MK Ultra did exist before the World War II, nowhere on a Hitler dossier is mentioned that he was a victim of MK Ultra or anything like this. But if MK Ultra would exist before the World War II, I would be today actually even siding with Adolf Hitler. Not because of what he did, but simply because of intentions he had for the Slovenian people. I am, as a Slovenian, they had parents of my father, with my father included, already on a train station, ready to transport them to Auschwitz, to Dachau Auschwitz, either of the two concentration camps. And I told you, with my mom, her brother being killed as a partisan, entire family, both sides, enrolled in the partisan movement, in a communist partisan movement. No. I mean, listen, this fucking evil is so fucking evil and personal. This stuff here, this whole Slovenian shit, that it makes me feel like I'm up against the fucking cult. Like you're fight against the fucking cult. You know, not people, but you know what is rabies. These people are like they would have fucking rabies, man. These people during MK Ultra were like they were on a fucking rabies, like they had a fucking rabies. And when I look at these people, the way they remind of the stuff that went on during MK Ultra, because that's exactly how they act. It's like they will be in a fucking rabies, man. They're actually acting what they first threatened they would, right? If you subject somebody to MK Ultra, that's basically to the subconscious manipulation, during which you threaten one and claim one that you will something do, whatever. And then you actually act in that exact way in his environment, in his life. It's like a possession. It's like you would be fucking possessed with totally with the evil, with like in a certain way hilarious. But on the other hand, when I consider this stuff, this is just harmful, truly harmful. The stuff that I endured through forced unemployment, the stuff that these people do not stop even short of. I mean, transported me to the psychiatric hospital in 2012, disregarding absolutely proofs about MKUltra, disregarding absolutely everything. It's like just a definition that I gave you at the beginning of this video, what MKUltra is. MKUltra, this is exactly what I told you. This is unlimited amount of violence done through, not going to say chaotic circumstances that in your childhood. This is not chaotic. This is unlimited violence, basically, whether that be in a school settings and or after you finish the school settings through the forced unemployment. This can be brutal if you have to write thousands of resumes and specify your supervisors and their phone numbers of your previous jobs and so on, just to be like this and like this from door to door. That kind of stuff was the case in America and in some other European cities. That can be fucking devastating. That's basically compelling one into the suicide regardless of what he does. Even if he proves that MKUltra existed, they continue to compel you into a suicide. So this is really, really bizarre. But that's what they call it a referendum on voluntary termination of life. It's not a suicide, it's a voluntary termination of life. It's not a lunacy. The girl that you see, I played you, and it's the same shit with other performers out there on this political podium in Slovenia. They're not stupid. They are performers. What this tells me is there is a number of other people. This is not a society driven by the needs. This is not a society driven by the rational, logical, or just thinking. These are animals that are driven by urge. You know, if you look at that Urška Klokočar Župančić, if you see her, she is driven with the urge. She's acting like some kind of schizophrenic or something like that. To me, that's a schizophrenic behavior. We are talking about what should be known as assisted dying. This should be known as a bill of assisted dying. It's not a bill of assisted dying. They specified on that bill. It's a voluntary termination of life. It's assistance in voluntary termination of life. For me personally, these are very different things, and I believe I'm not the only person this stuff have happened to in the so-called Slovenia. I believe there might be other people that they have done the same thing, similar thing, and I believe their behavior, the way they display publicly and on a cameras, is the type of behavior that is used to encourage their relatives to certain people. But in Slovenia, this should have taken extremely political, very, very political route. These are the same people as those that supported Slobodan Milošević. These are exactly the same people, if you pay attention to, as those who demanded here a greater Serbian Chetnik state known as Yugoslavia, that demand this bill related to prostovoljno končanje življenja, voluntary termination of life. It's Urška Klokočar Župančić told me that she I admire the 3 names that she is using. She actually imitated either Austrian or a German politician. She told me this inside of this room here, inside of the living room, in this room. That's exactly what she told me. I'm going to need these people to confess about this stuff. This is the bill we want to get through so we can get a hold of these animals and do something for life, basically. Do something positive. Terminate the garbage, basically. That's my bill. Kill the garbage. Kill the garbage. Pro-life. Kill the garbage.